Today on This Week, I saw a work of art, in my humble opinion. I wish more journalists would do this when they appear on these panels. LZ Granderson, I want you to listen to this, and then let's go ahead and take it on the other side.
LZ, we got 10 seconds left here, but really at the heart of this is immigration. What do they do about it?
Well, I know we're talking about immigration, Martha, but I really want to address something that we talked about just previously in terms of Marjorie Greene and that particular caucus. In denouncing her, many Republicans talked about how America wasn't built on these ideas. The reality is this country was built on white supremacy. And the reason why she supported is because white supremacy is still very much a part of the American fabric. So until we can acknowledge that, we're going to constantly address these racial issues, particularly as it pertains to immigration.
We're going to have to end there, but you made your point.
And, very rarely do you get a chance to, just go ahead and you be the one making the subject and not getting cut off. He took that 38 seconds and he did everything that he needed to do with that 38 seconds. Let's get the police portion out of the way. Everybody they're really hitting hard on how bad these police officers are, right? And I tell people all the time, police officers are a reflection of who we are. The only difference is they have a license to kill. So we are seeing the ultimate effect of who we are instantiated on the bodies of many. Now, here's the issue. As long as we maintain this fallacy that except for that little thing called slavery, except for that little thing where we had the Trail of Tears, where we murdered and threw a whole lot of indigenous people off their lands. Instead of us breaking all these treaties that we've had with different indigenous countries on this land and taking their land, except for how we treated Asians as they came over and built our railroad and gave many other services, except for how we deal with those people repatriating lands that were originally generations in their families, except for all these things, we were founded on great Christian principles. For all those that didn't benefit from the wonderfulness of that, it creates a fallacy. It creates an image that doesn't square with reality. So as we speak about being a democracy, we are very anti-democratic in the way we elect a Senate, in the way we elect a president, in the way we elect Congress people with gerrymandering, etc. We have all these undemocratic features built into our system to keep a few in power. When we wrote a constitution, which in effect truly, and this is not meaning to be mean, it was a racist document identifying some people in this country as 3/5 of a person. It was indeed a sexist document, meaning there was no area where women could actually vote. We have to really come to the concept that for those who say, well, it was a document of its time, that's fine. But also understand that in those times, we took it as okay to do so much harm to so many. And by the way, it isn't harm just to people of a particular hue. It isn't harm just to people of a particular gender. It is also harm to people of little means. It is also harm to people who didn't have land. But we always gave them that aspiration that if they just follow the rules, they would be able to be like us, as long as they don't have that hue, as long as they don't have that gender. So it was worth a few with arms fighting for. Until we accept the reality of who we are, and we start making or codifying who we claim to be and act on that codification, nothing is going to change. And that's why cycle after cycle after cycle, we go through what we're going through. That little statement that L.Z. Granderson made is so important. And if we absorb the essence of that statement, it's a start, it's the beginning of doing what we need to do. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.